Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm going to make this quick video just to show you some of the basic action items you need to know to easily dive into FlipPilot, get familiar with it, and know how to use it right away with all the incoming leads that we create for you. I'm only going to tell you exactly what you need to know. And then at the very end, I'll even share a few items for you if you want to make certain custom adjustments that will be tailored for your needs or kind of whatever will make you and your team more comfortable with it. So I'll just tell you what's the basic items you need to know to dive right on in and use it. And at the end, some extra features for if you want to create some custom items. So right when you dive in, this is your main screen and this is your main pipeline. As we can see here in the columns, the far left one is for all new leads. If you're in contacting with them, they'll be right here. We got appointments set in this column, then negotiating, under contract and escrow, if you're buying, closing, if you're in rehab, if you're actually listing it, it's on market here, and of course selling, closing. Let's go back over here beginning. Every and all new leads that come in, whether it's a call through CallRail or through a text campaign, will be shown up right here. Right off the bat, you can tell there's going to be some colors. We got some red and then we got a green one right here. If it's a brand new lead, it will be green. Now, after a certain amount of time, when they turn red, that just means that this lead is past due and needs to be followed up upon. So we have a certain time restraint in this column. So once it hits a certain point, if it's been sitting there for too long, it just turns red. That way you know that it's kind of been sitting there for a while. It needs to be taken care of. If for some reason it's not a lead and you do want to delete the lead, all you have to do is just click on the card and then pull it here to the left where it says not a lead. It will go ahead and just delete that whole lead contact. If you want to move this lead to the next stage, all you have to do is click and drag it. Now we went ahead and preset some checklist for each and every contact, which I'll show in a few seconds within the card. That checklist will pop up in a card when you hit a certain stage in the pipeline. Let me show you. Let's go into the card. As you can see here, we got the address and the contact information, got your Google map right there. Over here to the right is the notes section where you can type in notes. And we scroll down here, we got a few different sections. Right here, as you can see, this is contacting checklist. So like I said, we have a preset checklist for different stages in the pipeline to help remind you of what you should be doing with that contact, whether it's updating the card, getting certain paperwork that you need if you're about to rehab or in contact with them or in escrow. So every time you hit a certain stage in the pipeline, the checklist will automatically pop up right here. And then once you click on it, it will tell you the percentage of you're done. As you can see, when I exit out of here, we can see right here over this little check mark, it says checklist 2 out of 2, and that it's been completed. Going back into the card, as we can see over here on the left, we have our status, which can be new, contacting. These are pretty much the statuses in the different columns. We have campaign, so we will have the campaigns in there. So that way you'll be able to know if it came from a ringless voicemail campaign, a text campaign, mailers, cold calling campaign. That way when you click it here and you pick the campaign, that way when you go to your KPI section, you'll be able to know how many leads came from which campaign. Then of course we got motivation right here to help you know, and then your exit strategy of what you want to, how you're going to pretty much handle this lead, whether it's wholesale, list it, rehab it. And of course we got different temperatures right here. As we just go down on the left side, you can easily integrate your Google Drive right here. So you can easily have your files that you need with this contact. If you have multiple users, multiple people on your team, different acquisition managers, you can, set different users to assign a lead or contact to one of your teammates. Of course, right here, then you can even add an appointment and then assign the appointment to a certain person or one of your teammates. You can even add schedule contact. What that means is let's say if this is a new lead and you're contacting and you go ahead and you call that person and they didn't answer and you need to set a reminder for yourself to call this lead again in a couple of days. This is where you would do it. You would hit add schedule contact and you can either set as a call, text, or email. And then you can put a description, time, and hit schedule. And in a second, I'll show you where all these scheduled contacts will show in one tab. But when you're in a lead, this is how you would do it. Or if you have a sequence, which we go ahead and create for you, you can just click on this and click on which sequence you want it to add to that. And of course, you can mark as sold, not lead, and mark as dead. Back to this section right here in the middle. Like I said, if you do schedule appointment, your appointments will show up right here under Appointments tab. If you schedule a contact like I just showed you, all your schedules will be timestamped right here, and it will keep all past ones. So you can see how many times you've scheduled to follow up with this person, and it will tell you if it was a call, a text, or an email. And then what's great about this as well too is you have a communication log. So since it is integrated with your CallRail, every time you call a person from a CallRail number that is connected to FlipPilot, which it will be, it will tell you, it'll give you a timestamp when you call them, when you text them. Same goes for the sequences. If it was a sequence text, it'll be right here. Even if it was a manual text, it'll all show up right here in the log. And if you were to, oh, never mind. So yeah, and of course we got our property info, lead info, your analysis, and pretty much everything else that is just really easy to kind of dive in and understand. Let's go to that. Pretty much that is what you need to know inside the main pipeline dashboard. Like I said, it's just really easy to click and drag. And from there, every time you drag, you'll see the new set of checklist right there within the card. Let's go over to the communications tab over here in the top left. Again, in this tab, this is where you got two sides. You got your inbound communication. So let's say you have any calls coming from CallRail, they would show up right here. And then scheduled contacts. So if you remember back into the lead card, you are able to, schedule out a time to follow up with the person, whether it's a text or a phone call. This would all show up right here. All your ones that are due today, or if there's any past due, and all your future ones. So whether it's in a sequence or not any sequence, any type of scheduled contact that you created for that lead would show up here. And if it was past overdue, you would get this red exclamation point right here. And then it'll even tell you what you need to be doing, whether it's a text, a call. If you hover over it, it'll even show the text the text copy that you're going to send or will be sending if it's an automated text, or if it's just a description, it'll show that right here too, at what time you need to be doing it, and then their phone number as well. If you right from this tab right here, let's say you're looking to schedule contacts, and you want to see a little bit more information about it, all you have to do is just click on the address and it takes you right to the lead card. And what's great within the lead card, and I forgot to share this as well too, is you are able to make phone calls from within it, and then also text from within it, and just pick the phone number that you're going to text them from, which is a CallRail number, your designated CallRail number, and then you type your message right there. Again, like I said, it'll all show up in the communications log. So you would most likely be working out of the pipeline, knowing where your leads are and which stages. And then for your daily contacts, you'd be working out of this tab right here, seeing what is past due, what's due today, and whether you're manually contacting them, you do it right here in the contact card, or just knowing that they're in a automated sequence and seeing what's coming up. So that is pretty much it. Those are the basic things you really need to know just to dive on in and get used to it. Now, I will share a few items for you if you want to play with it and customize it a little bit different than what's already been set. So first off, the first thing I want to show you is if you go to your profile in the top right. The one thing I want to show you is notifications. You can set how you want to be notified based off the new leads that come into FlipPilot, and if a lead is past or due or overdue or is getting close to being overdue. As you can see here, when a record is automatically created, you can set whether you want to get a text reminder, an email reminder, or both. And same goes for if it's overdue, you can get an email reminder, or if a record goes yellow, which is kind of about, yellow means it's about to expire, or I mean not expire, but be overdue, you can get an email as well. This is how we kind of have it set up by default. That has worked well for us and most of our clients. Back to the pipeline. Like I said, certain stages, we have a checklist already created for you. Now, everybody has obviously different checklist or want to just be over prepared for certain stages. So if you want to edit or add or change the checklist that's automatically populated in different stages, all you do is up here in the columns. So let's say, for example, appointment set. You want to add more to the checklist. All you do is you hit these, click on these dots that are to the right of it, hit edit status. Within here, as you can see, you can remove a checklist item, or you can add a new one right there at the bottom. Just hit add new item. You can even change the amount of time that you want a lead to sit there. So for one stage that would kind of make sense would be in the new section. So let's say you have an acquisition manager and you want every lead to be, followed up within the hour. And if it's not followed up in the hour, you want it to go red to notify you that this needs to be taken care of right here. What you do is you go to that edit section, right where it says acceptable time and status. That's where you would change it. So you can change it to as many hours as you want it to be. Now, another item that you would like to know is over here in the stats tab. Just to show you real quick, this is where you can see all your weekly stats, stats by month and quarter. As you can see right here, you can see how many new leads you got, non-leads, appointments sets, appointments canceled, sold, dead, what has offers out at the moment. And you can even see the records right now from within this tab. So let's say I see that I got 6 leads right now. I can easily click there and see which properties it is. And of course, I can click on it and go right to that property card to get the information that I want. Aside from that, one last thing, if you want to, like I said, we do give you follow-up sequences that we believe are good and that we're using ourselves. If for some reason you want to tailor the copy to some of the texts or the sequences to kind of maybe fit how you would present yourself, or if you want to create a different sequence, this is where you would go. It's over here in the follow-up sequence tab. And one of the current sequences that we have, if you want to edit or just view them, just go ahead and click on the manage the follow-up. It brings up this card, and you can see all the steps within it. You can see right here, day 0, immediately, day 2, day 6. And to edit or see the copy in this card, you just click on the bottom to the right. And you can see that this one right here is schedule contact. So this will notify you to contact the person. It doesn't automatically send the text. It just notifies you to text this person. And I can change it to a call or an email, and then a description that you put. So how we have it set it up is this will notify you to text the homeowner, and all you have to do is just copy and paste the description. And this would show up in the lead card. So if you want to go down this road and kind of create your own sequences, go for it. This is where you would do it. To create a new sequence, you would just come here to the top right, hit this bottom, and you just hit follow-up sequence. And this is the same section. If you want to manually enter a new lead, you would go here, or a new status, which would be a new column. But everything that's kind of already preset is ready to go. So hopefully this is helpful. These are really, like I said, the basic need to know things just to get going and get situated and comfortable with it. And just a few items that if you wanted to customize and tailor a few things, this is how you do it.